Well, I want to welcome you all here on this sunny Saturday to talk about the second Solarize program that's ever happened in Thurston County. The first one happened back in 2010 and resulted in a few installations around the county. And we're really excited as Olympia Community Solar to jump in and sponsor the second one. So let me tell you about what solar group purchasing is and how it works. And then I'm going to invite our partners at Capstone Solar to talk about the solar itself and our financing partners to talk about how to pay for it. So let's get started. To introduce our team, we are a nonprofit with a mission to steward an equitable and accessible transition to clean energy. We're currently working on a few projects, community solar, where people can participate in a single solar array. We do lots of education. Recently, we sponsored a Books for Prisoners project, and I'll say solar education books for prisoners project. And we also work on policy issues with state and local governments. So today we're talking about solar group purchasing. I'm going to tell you what is a Solarize campaign, the timeline and enrollment, and then some benefits. So Solarize started as an idea in Portland, and a group of neighborhood folks got together and they said, hey, what if we could purchase solar together? It resulted in this really big campaign and installed over 130 installations. And since then, the model has spread across the country. And if you just search Solarize online, you'll find a couple different guidebooks and publications about it. And it's a really interesting and well-established model. So I encourage you to look into it that way. There have been a bunch in Washington. Here are a few examples. This was a big inspiration for how we chose our campaign goal of 50 installations. We saw, that these other campaigns had about that in success. So as a nonprofit, our role in this campaign has been to coordinate with our partners and secure pricing. A few months ago, Olympia Community Solar issued a request for proposal to local solar installers and local financiers to say, hey, if we can bring 50 solar installations to you, what's the best you can do in terms of pricing? And we secured those partnerships. We also approached the cities of Olympia and Lacey and Puget Sound Energy and are partnering with them to help with outreach. And it's been a real pleasure. We are developing the campaign's educational materials, and we're here as, I imagine us kind of like a union organizer almost, but a customer advocate. So if you have questions during the campaign, feel free to reach out to our team and we'll help the communication happen between all the partners. And then finally, once the campaign is wrapped up, we'll be evaluating how it worked, partly for the grants that have helped fund our work in doing this and to inform the next one, which we hope to do, in future years. So the timeline is we launched a few weeks ago. This obviously is the first public meeting, so it's a big, starting event. And then from now through September 1st, we'll be working on enrolling all those 50 homes. And September 1st will be our contracting deadline, the campaign end. And that's, from what I've read in other Solarize campaigns, a super important piece is that, this special partnership and offering is a limited time thing and it's going to end. So we need to motivate some customer action. So with that, I want to invite Ari to describe some of the benefits of Solarize.
Thanks, Mason. Hi, everyone. My name is Ari Simmons. I currently serve as Outreach Director for Olympia Community Solar. So great to have you all today. And, as there are so many benefits to just having solar on your home and on your business and even on rental properties. For instance, my landlord purchased solar back in October of last year, and I know that I have a very specific peace of mind generating energy right where I live, learning about my energy consumption right where I am, and really working to reduce my impact and leave a almost a inspiration for the community as people walk by, they see the array. So the visibility of having solar in your neighborhood is incredibly powerful. And going with this program and participating in this program also has so many awesome benefits. Next slide, please. So we really wanted to break the benefits down to three really key concepts. The first is affordability, the second is simplicity, and the third is community. Affordability was such an incredible, crucial part of the consideration process for this program because we know that solar and solar installation costs can be rather high for homeowners. So we wanted to make sure that we contracted with a solar installer that gave us the best possible options for our customers, as well as PSCCU to give people who are looking into financing a very special offer. But on top of those things, we're also encouraging people to see if they qualify for the 26% tax rebate or the ITC. We're also offering this program with a limited time group purchasing rate, which makes it less expensive for homeowners and businesses to participate because the installer orders most of the equipment and things in bulk when people participate, which winds up saving you money in the long run, as well as offering discounted financing through PSCCU. And we have Stephanie here to tell you more about that offer. So this was a video about virtual net metering. Oh, there we go, which essentially is the mechanism that allows you to see your energy savings reflected in your power bill. And a lot of folks don't really understand how this mechanism works and why it's significant when it comes to solar and also hopefully community solar in the future. So Mason, if you want to play this video that quickly shows how it works, that's great.
How does net metering work? If you're thinking about going solar, you might be wondering how you're supposed to keep your home powered when the sun isn't shining. Thanks to a policy called net metering, you don't have to worry about your home going dark. When the sun is shining during the day, your solar panels will make lots of electricity. If you're making more than you need, your electric meter will run backwards because you're actually sending that excess energy back to the grid. In exchange, your utility gives you credits on your electric bill for all the power you sent them. Then, at night, when your panels aren't producing electricity, you can use the credits you've stored up to get electricity from your utility and power your home. If your panels haven't produced enough energy to meet your needs, don't worry, you can always buy the extra from your utility. Don't expect to get a check in the mail if you produce more solar power than you need. In most cases, you'll get credits on your bill, but your utility won't pay you for them. The specifics of net metering depend on your utility company, and we recommend you call them for further details.
So that was a really great short overview of how net metering works and how your home generates energy and returns that energy back to the grid. The second concept and benefit of participating in Solarize is the simplicity that our team has designed around the entire process. So we've worked with Capstone Solar to assure that all site assessments for businesses and homes are completely free. And we really want our customers to understand their properties and if solar is a viable option for them. And that is such an incredibly crucial part of the installation process. So we wanted to make sure that everyone had access to that. And on top of that, we wanted to make sure that people knew that the solar quotes that are provided are no commitment, but we really want people to have a complete understanding of how much this investment costs. So that way you can weigh your options and pros and cons to going solar without any pressure. And then, of course, we wanted to make the enrollment process as easy and simple for people as possible. It's completely online and starts with our website, www.solarizethurston.org. There you can learn more about the program and sign up for that free site assessment and solar quote. And from there, Capstone Solar will initiate the contracting process if you decide that solar is the right choice for you. Next slide, please. And then, of course, one of my favorite parts about solar energy is community. Not only does solar really impact the community by reducing local pollution and reducing your carbon footprint, but with this program in particular, you're part of a collective effort, and in turn, you're part of a community in a community, which is so awesome. And with this program in particular, we have a goal of 50 homes and businesses to go solar by September 1st. So you're joining a whole community of people who are thinking in very similar ways, thinking about the future and really wanting to educate and inspire the community around them. And then, of course, one of my favorite parts about this program, and something that our team is so proud of, and something that Capstone is also really proud of, is that for every 50 kilowatts of solar energy, we're actually going to be donating solar energy to low-income families. And I'll pass it over to Capstone Solar to kind of explain a little bit more about what happens on their end and talk a little bit more about this community benefit.
Hey, Ari,
Awesome. Thanks, Ari. Oh, sorry, Mason.
How much is 50 kilowatts?
How much is 50 kilowatts? Well, the Hands-On Children's Museum is 100 kilowatts, or a little over 100 kilowatts. So I don't know. How much is 50 kilowatts?
For our averages at Capstone, that's about 5 residential installations.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yay. I can't hear you, Mason. You're muted.
Just gonna say you're good to go. Your slides, I think, are
awesome.
Next up here.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. My name's Rich Phillips with Capstone Solar. Real quick background on Capstone. We're a Washington-based company. I'm right here in Olympia. I'm 4th generation of 5 generations in Olympia. Capstone, we're based out of Redmond. We have warehouse and office space in Hawks Prairie by Shipwreck Deeds, in Bellingham, in Portland, in Spokane, and a couple other places. And what we do is, we're a solar installer, but we're also a telecom company. We build cell towers and really remote locations, and that's how we kind of got into solar years ago. We do large utility scale solar projects in Washington and Oregon, and on that side of things, we actually install more solar than all of the residential solar installers combined in Washington and Oregon. So that gives you an idea of our purchasing power. And then adding to that, Solarize campaigns and things of that nature, we've really been able to drive the cost down and kind of turn the corner on how we bring value to our customers. So I just want to give you that real quick background on Capstone, and then tell you a little bit about the process here, about how we go about doing this. Once you have signed up with Solarize Thurston, or if you call us, please mention that it's the Solarize Thurston campaign. The first thing is, one of our reps will reach out to you and see when is a good time to meet by Zoom. Or Teams, or any way that works for you, and we'll get a power bill from you and talk to you, do a little bit of discovery and find out what your specific needs are. And then on the left hand side, you see this, Go Solar, Save Money. This is what we consider a preliminary design, and it will give us the size and the shading issues, and tell us how much solar fits on your property, and that's really how we we'll move forward to create a proposal for you. I did put on the right here, it's usually an animated GIF, but this is the second stage, is when we have to contract, we then deploy an FAA certified drone pilot to your site, and the drone takes like thousands of pictures, and then we stitch it together in this software called Scanify, and it creates a 3D rendering of your home and of all the trees, and then does 12-month weather data, uses and sees all the shading, and gets really accurate data on the production system, which is what's important to you because that's how much money it's going to make for you, how much electricity it's going to generate. So after we do that on site with the drone, we then come back to you with an email that shows you designs, and you get, you know, this 3D footage. You get to see, and we can install panels in virtual reality then and see how they will the best surfaces to use on your property, on your home. And that's how we verify the numbers that we do with the preliminary design. Next slide, Mason. Then we will sit down. Frozen. Oh, cool. You got it. Yeah, so that's the, if you can see the animation going there, that was neat. It just shows us the weather. You can see this place pretty shaded until about noon there, and yeah, cool. Thanks, Mason. This is broken up. I get it. It's usually one page. So this is that home that you saw in the first preliminary design, and we'll go through this. It usually takes about 15 minutes. And what I like to tell people when we do the proposal is that there are 3 things that we want you to learn from this, and it's really what fits on your home, like what's available to you in terms of insulation, what it costs, like all in, no hidden fees, taxes, prep, dealer fees, any of that, and how it pays for itself. And this is basically the proposal is kind of, you know, where the rubber meets the road. It's, you know, you can see on there the size, and this is, you know, an average size, you know, as we said, 50 kilowatts was about 5, 10 kilowatt arrays. This is a 9.49 kilowatt array. This would be, similar to a Solarize Thurston campaign. That would be the cost out the door would be about $19,000, $20,000. The federal tax credit, which we explained to you, and make sure that you understand and can talk to. We're not financial advisors, but this is dollar for dollar against your liability. So if you pay taxes, then this is a way that you can not pay those taxes and get a larger refund, or not have to pay if you're usually pay taxes. If you have a home-based business, there is bonus depreciation that you can take as well, makers. I didn't do it in this example. And then we also have like a solar ambassador. We call it the We Pay program, where we encourage people to give us referrals, put up a yard sign, do video or written testimonial. There are a number of things you can do, and it's your choice. You pick from a variety of them. And if you complete those things after the installation, we actually cut you a check for, in this case, $1,500. You can do whatever you want with that money, but it does help kind of to make the payments until you get your tax credit. And that's something that your solar sales rep will discuss with you. But basically, the $19,000, $20,000 price tag, within a year is down to about $13,000 with the tax credit and the We Pay. And then you can see the production numbers, the yearly savings, monthly savings. This will all be specific to your home. It's different for everyone. But this is kind of a general look at it. And I don't want to talk too long about it because it'll really be specific to your site. But in the long story short, this person's loan for no money down starts at, if you look on the right-hand side, $131 a month. If you make those payments until tax time next year with your We Pay, it actually costs you nothing out of pocket. You get free electricity for that year, which in this case is about $1,000 worth of electricity for free. And then you take that tax credit, and the bank, and Stephanie will talk to this, they know you're getting a tax credit. They encourage you're allowed to re-amortize your loan one time for free with that tax credit. So if you apply that to your loan, it'll re-amortize, and the new lower payment will be depending on your credit. This is for, an average, a good credit score. It'd be about $88 a month. And if you look at the savings for the system, you're saving in the first year $86 a month out the gate. Of course, you got free electricity that whole first year because if you use the We Pay to make the loan payments. If it goes up by 5%, and in Puget Sound Energy, it's gone up 4 to 6% a year for the last 20 years, and on average. So I recently saw a Puget Sound Energy bill that got a 14% increase on tier 2. They do it at different times in different places. I have solar on my home, so when I get a rate increase, it doesn't affect my bill at all because my loan payment stays the same to the bank. So similarly here, you see next year, if the power goes up 5%, you're saving $90 a month, and your loan payment is still $88. And every year after that, as the power continues to go up, your loan payment. And this is a 20-year loan. Stephanie can talk to the bank. The credit union has different terms. There are shorter terms with lower interest rates, and this is the longest term. But it is entirely up to you. Capstone, we don't have a horse in that race. We just partner with good partners like PSCCU to bring the best product to and the most affordable product to our customers. Last and least, which is not the least, is actually the installation. We take care of everything after the financing. We do the interconnection agreement with the utility. We apply for permits, pay for the permits, and then we deploy. And usually an installation takes 1 day. All of the electricians, everyone is a W-2 employee of Capstone. We don't sub out any of our work. And we're really proud of our install team. They're especially here, this is my local team. That's Mike Meske, our electrical superintendent, doing that's a commercial array actually on State Farm in Shelton. That's the second largest array in Mason County, behind the PD's array. And after that, you're off to the races. I'm happy to dig a lot deeper, individually and with our sales reps. I've got Chris Van Dalen on the webinar as well. Chris is one of our top reps, and here locally, he's been instrumental in a lot of policy and a lot of things that I hold near and dear to my heart, a lot of community events here. And I'd love Chris to say hi and introduce himself, and then we're going to pass it on to Stephanie after that, I think.
Oh, thanks, Rich. This is an exciting opportunity for us to reach a lot of the community who maybe didn't think that solar was a possibility for them. I've been involved with green building and renewable energy for the last 20 years as an advocate, working with the Northwest Eco Building Guild, and I'm on the board of the Thurston Climate Action Team. We just got the climate mitigation plan passed, and this Solarize campaign is one of the items in that plan. So it's a great opportunity to do good for the environment while also doing good for our community members and helping them save money on energy and reduce the carbon emissions from our grid. So just super excited to be a part of this, and I hope I get to work with several of you as your sales rep in the months to come. Thank you to Olympia Community Solar. Absolutely, they're an amazing organization. I've just watched them grow from a team of folks at Evergreen College that had an idea, and now they're just making some amazing things happen. Glad to be able to partner with you on this with Capstone and to partner with you in the past with the Eco Building Guild. So thanks.
Cheers. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Chris. Now I'd like to turn it over to Stephanie from PSCCU. Welcome.
Welcome. Good morning, everyone. So, this is my first inaugural, Zoom meeting. I just want everybody to know that. So no judgment here. I've got a nice background, no glare, I'm trying to follow the rules here. So, so this is good. So this is exciting. I'm Stephanie Stewart, as I said, and I am a branch manager at the credit union at the Renton office. And we have an amazing team there with 4 loan officers in our office, but we have 4 branches of the credit union. And so we kind of filter the loan applications out to all of the branches, which is kind of good. We make sure that we get them to the branch and the loan officer that can serve the person the fastest. So that's kind of exciting, something I decide right now, like when the loan applications come in. So we've just been a credit union. We've been around a long time, since 1934. So this isn't a new thing for us. We've been doing these green lending. I've been a part of this credit union for 11 years, actually 14, but my credit union merged into this credit union 11 years ago. They were PSE credit unions. So this is really a strong commitment to, obviously energy and being socially responsible and doing all this green lending is really a partnership we made with PSE early on. And the exciting thing I was sharing with Ari and Mason in the beginning is we've already seen some of these loan applications come in for this program with Capstone. We've had a partnership with Capstone actually, I think for a couple of years now. So this is not a new partnership. So I was really excited to see that it was Capstone that was doing this program. I've been part of some solarized things in other communities and doing some of these presentations. So it was very exciting to see Capstone be someone that we have a great relationship already with outside of the Solarize program. We do a lot of work with them. We know them, so it's actually kind of nice to see Rich's face. We've not met. So this is kind of exciting. So the loan is, I'll kind of get to what you want to know. The loan is pretty simple. We've made a special program we've made a special loan for this actual Solarize program. So this loan starts, the interest rate starts at 3.75. That is a fixed rate. And this specific program, the terms go up to 15 years. As Rich mentioned, we do have other loans and terms that go up to 20 years, and that's something you can always reach out to us about. But the special program for this is 15 years, starting at 3.75, which is really lower than really anything we've ever offered with Capstone before. So there is definitely a special thing that we've set up for this. And Rich took my thunder, but yes, we, after you get your tax credit, you can re-amortize the loan. And that term is just kind of a banky term. So let's make sure everybody understands what that means, is that once you apply your tax credit, your balance is lower. And so then we recalculate the payments for the remaining term of the loan on your new balance. And so your payments are lower, as Rich mentioned, and that's a great option. We do it one time for free. You actually can do it a second time. There's just a small fee for that. But that if you end up getting, selling something or doing something, so you can continually lower those payments just with a re-amortization numerous times. And it doesn't need to just be from a tax credit. You can have money from anywhere to lower your balance and then do that amortization. So that's kind of nice. If some people don't have money available right now, but they do in a year, they can combine that with their tax credit and get that balance down as low as they can. It's really simple. The application process is just going. I know there's a slide with our website that you just go onto our website, you apply. It's very nice in the comments section. If you can put that it's Solarize Thurston, then we will be sure. And I think the Capstone reps are great about recommending this, but when we make sure and give you these special rates. Another nice thing is sometimes you do need some roof work done, or you need a roof repair beforehand. That can be integrated into this loan. There's one loan, this special program allows up to 25% of the loan, but we do have, another program that the rates start at 4%. So they're not much different, that you can actually include more of that roof project in there. So anything you need, we can usually integrate what is needing to be facilitated with the solar, be it roof work, be it something else, something that, a ground mount, something that needs to be done. However you do that, that usually can be integrated with the loan, and you won't need to do something separate. So really, that's the basics of it. It just starts at 3.75 up to 15 years for this special program. And then you just apply online. We have an amazing team that they usually, if you apply like overnight, we come in the morning and we have that application, you're going to hear from somebody that day. And if somebody wants more details, because I'm just kind of giving the high overview, definitely reach out. You can, there's an email, I think, on the next slide. Yeah. And again, my name is Stephanie. That's a generic credit union email, but I do see those, and just put attention Stephanie, and I will personally answer that email and get you your answers, so that I know I'm just, like I said, doing a high level. And I'm not at that phone number. That's our main office. But if you do hit the Renton, there's an option for the Renton branch. I am there, and I'd be happy to personally talk to you about this. And I think that's really it.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. So
Yeah.
glad to have financing as an option for folks.
Yeah, it's great.
So I'm just going to summarize kind of signing up for, if you're interested. There's an online form at solarizethurston.org that takes your information directly to Capstone, and those guys can start reaching out to you to assess your property. And then once you have an assessment and receive a quote, then your only deadline is September 1st for contracting. You can take your time if you need it. And with that, I think we will pause and open for questions. And yeah, just say another thank you to all of our speakers today. But yeah, anyone have any questions? feel free to use the chat function or unmute yourself.
I have a few. I'm JJ. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I am wondering, first of all, about the loan. Can you avoid the loan and just pay up front with this campaign?
I'm seeing some nods.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And when she said she kept saying starts at 3.75, can that loan percentage change at all?
Depending on your credit score. So if your score is lower, then the rate can go up. But so that is the rate is based on your credit score.
Got it. Okay. And as far as the discount, which I think I heard was 15% if through this campaign, is that like a real true discount if we went to Capstone and we just wanted a solar array on our own? Would we literally pay 15% more?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. This is a special, we were vetted and we had to show what our average price is, and we had to, really tighten our belts. And also, we don't have to pay for acquisition. We pay a lot in marketing. We pay a lot to, get people to call us and talk to us, and so having Solarize, the Solarize campaign do that outreach and the advertising, there's a lot that went into this already that Mason and Ari and Ben and Matt and everybody have done. There's a lot of advertising. There's gonna be, radio spots and we can't even get access to, things like city mailers and PSE mailers. So there's a lot of value there. So that saves us money. And we can just be, the contractor of record. We're not out prospecting clients. So yeah, that absolutely, it is a little bit difficult because right now, if people contact us not through Solarize, my sales reps are making very, very, very little money on these deals. This is, a community effort. This is something we believe in. This is something that they're making less than the smallest amount they can make on a solar sale. So yeah, it's okay. It's significant savings.
Great. And then I thought I heard somebody say something about if you had a home business, you might be able to get a higher rebate.
Yeah, it's makers. It's actually just the bonus depreciation, modified accelerated cost recovery system. And so, as a home-based business or a business in general, you can depreciate assets. With solar, you can depreciate, bonus depreciation happened in the 2017 tax reform. So you can depreciate it all in year one. Home-based businesses can take up to 25%, like for a home office, or of your mortgage. It's just, but that's really, we can kind of point you in the direction, but you talk to your financial advisor, do your research, make sure that you're taking the correct amount, because it's based on your tax rate as well. We can give you the formula and tell you what, it's going to be about this much if you can get bonus depreciation for your asset. So you can take 25% of it, of the cost of the basis, and get a slightly, it can be, in that example, it's probably between $1,000 and $2,000 of tax benefit.
Okay, and that happens over years, or
no, all in year one.
All in year one. Okay. And so with depreciation, you mean, but that could happen in subsequent years, or you only get to take that 1 year?
It depends. There are two different ways. There's Schedule 179, and there's the maker's bonus depreciation. So if you cannot take it all in year one, there's a different schedule that you can do that you can
got it. Yeah.
Spread it. But if you can, one of them is, yes, you have to take it all. You can only do it in year one.
Okay. And then so the 26% credit, the rebate, that's a full on federal rebate?
It's it's a credit. It used to be a rebate. And so I want to be really clear. It's not, and we're trying to get it changed back to a rebate where you would actually get a check. You'd actually get cash, whether you had a tax appetite or not. The way it is now, it is a credit. So you have to have taxable income. You have to pay taxes to receive the benefit of it. And that's something that's really like one of the most important things that we do, in the sales part of it, is make sure to the best of our ability that you can receive that benefit, because it's a 26% off coupon, really.
Right. Okay. And so but you'd have to be paying at least that much tax a year. And then it's definitely. Well,
that one you can take in subsequent years, as long as the tax credit ITC is still available. for you, and it is available this year, 26%, 26% next year, 22% 2023, and then it stops unless it gets extended. But what I can tell you is it's available for 3 years now, so you could take that tax over 3 years. You could take as much as you could in year 1, as much as year 2, and the rest in year 3. So that one is, as long as the tax credit is available.
Okay, but you're not saying that, so you're saying that 26%, if you took it that first year and you were able to take it, you'd only be
That's
able to take it. That's it. Okay.
Yes.
All
But
right.
if it was a $4,000 tax credit and you had $2,000 of tax liability, you
Okay.
could take it 2,000 this year, 2,000 next year. Taxes.
Okay. And does anybody know, this might be a little off subject, but does anybody know if there's any looming state tax credits coming back? I know they probably wouldn't affect this campaign.
I mean, I Mason has a lot more experience right now. I've been a part of all the legislations for 12 or so years, and personally, I don't see any state incentive programs coming back that look like the old cost recovery programs, and I don't think they're necessary. We've really worked hard to get our prices down. When we had the cost recovery program, if you talk to the Wazoo Energy Extension Program, they can show you data that shows that Washington installations were about $1 a watt more than our neighboring states because of our incentive program. Incentives are not sustainable, and I really feel strongly about just making it the best value and getting the price down and not having it based on other taxpayers subsidizing solar customers. That's
Well, and as you could see with the pricing worksheet that Rich showed you, it's now very competitive with the electricity rates without the state incentives. I mean, the federal tax incentive really makes a big difference in making it competitive, but we don't need additional incentives from state government to make it pencil out.
Yeah, I'd love to add a few things there. On the incentive question, we do benefit from a sales tax exemption, so you won't be paying sales tax on your system. And then our organization is part of the State Solar and Energy Industry Association, the WASIA, and I can say this past legislature, there wasn't any incentives, and I haven't heard huge plans for more, but hopefully, we might see some new support for that in the future. I think the thing we really need from the state is support in the equity realm to get solar to more people who can't access it. And then I wanted to jump back to the original question on is there really a discount through the program? And I just want to say Capstone competed against 3 other bidders into the program. When our team reviewed and evaluated those proposals, it was pretty clear that Capstone was the winner. And from the customer representative side of things, I will say, if you want to get quotes from other installers in the area, I'm happy to give you contacts and introduce you to other installers so you can see competing quotes.
Me too. I'm happy to recommend, what I call my co-opetition, the folks that I'm confident they do good work and are highly ethical.
Ari, did any questions come in the chat? I can't see it with my screen open like this.
Not that I saw, but feel free and use the chat to ask questions. We are a small enough group though where you can unmute and also just ask right away. And if you don't have any pressing questions, we have our contact information right there. You can call us, send us an email, shoot us a message over Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and we're happy to answer any questions that way as well.
I have 2 questions. This is Leela. First question, if you're part of the credit union, PSCCU, are you more likely to get a better interest rate
No,
on the loan?
no, it's strictly based on your credit score at application.
Okay. And then you mentioned the loan 25% can also be used for roof repairs or other energy efficiency projects.
Mm-hmm.
Is Capstone also available to do that type of work, or do you have partnerships or people you like to work with or manage?
Rich can talk on that.
Yeah, we have master service agreements with roofers. So we work with a number of different ones in each region to bring the best pricing that we have. I would say probably 20 to 30% of our customers need a roof. So we partner, and then it comes under our warranty, which is longer than a traditional roofer's warranty. And also the fact that Puget Sound Cooperative Credit Union is willing to finance something like a roof, which is a depreciating asset that's really hard to get a low interest long-term rate on a roof. They're usually 14% kind of Wells Fargo loans, or 12 months same as cash, and then 22% for 3 years. They're notoriously predatory, I'd say, maybe, but this is amazing. And I'll say too that Capstone, we kind of pushed. We install well below the industry average. If you can Google the installed cost of solar in Washington, and Energy Sage and Wazoo Energy Extension, they publish the average installation cost. Last I checked a couple of days ago, it was $281 a watt. Last week it'd gone up 10 cents on average. This, I'll tell you, this is priced at $1.95 a watt, and you'll never see that price published anywhere. That's significantly lower than industry average. I see a question about sales tax. It is not about being nonprofit. You don't have to pay sales tax. That's part of the Solar Fairness Act, that solar does not have sales tax attached to it. And then, so we do roof, we have partners that do roofs. There are other things that, we do electrical upgrades to panels, batteries, we tree removal, we have partners that do that as well. And if you need tree removal or thinning of trees, that is also subject to the federal investment tax credit. If you're doing it to improve your solar, it is also able to be included. And batteries, as long as they're being charged by solar.
So if we needed roof repairs or tree removal or battery installation, like those would all be separate contractors with these entities, right? It wouldn't all be under Capstone.
It would be under our contract. You would also have warranties from the our master service agreement, but it's under our umbrella, which honestly, my experience with roofing companies is they come and go. So it is good to have a general contractor like Capstone holding the paper on that. We have a 10-year workmanship, bumper to bumper, anything on the project, your roof, anything, you just call us and we take care of it. And then there's also the 25-year module production warranty that the manufacturer gives. We also, because of our utility side, we use tier 1 products and that's a designation that's not about safety or production. It's actually about an independent third-party verification that these companies are in good standing, have been around more than 5 years, have good Better Business Bureau ratings and warranty claims that they're responsive to. We have to use tier 1 like that because on the utility side, we're doing projects that are tens of millions of dollars, and the banks need to know that the warranties are good, that the company is going to be around. So we use, for instance, for Solarize, that we're not using the least expensive products. We're using Hyundai panels that are black on black on black. They're called Bobs. They're black frame, black backsheet, black cell. They're very aesthetically pleasing. Some of the pictures you saw actually on the slides are installs of ours, the silver frames still, because they were harder to get black frames back then, but now they're all black on black. Hyundai, it's a Korean company with over 50 years of, you've probably heard of them. They make trains and cars and appliances, and these panels are assembled in Hillsboro, Oregon. So we're really happy to partner with Hyundai.
Great. We have another question from Lisa, and then I saw Janet's hand up as well. Lisa asked, have we had any signups to date?
Yes. Yeah, 2 contracted that came in this week, I believe, but I'd have to check Salesforce and double check if they actually have signed.
And I know I've done 3 loan applications for the program so far, just Thursday and Friday.
Amazing. And stay updated on our social media because we will be posting updates with where we are in the campaign process too. So take a look on our Facebook to see, updates. And then Janet, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
I think I'm unmuted. Yeah, thank you it's really helpful to have several, the industries involved here on the webinar. They're really helpful. I too, like Lisa, was interested just to see what, as a general question, kind of what sort of interest you're getting from our community. So it sounds like you've launched in March and you already have some interested prospective buyers. My questions are just really reflect my low level of knowledge generally about solar. Are the panels, what kind of maintenance is involved, and are they fairly easy to remove if needed, or if other maintenance is required? What could be expected over the span of, say, 10 years, just in terms of upkeep?
I would say that in 10 years, depending on how close your fir and cedar trees are, because everybody here loves their trees where we live, you might want to, whatever your regular roof maintenance is, if you get up and clean off your roof, you should hose off your panels, is what I'd say. But the research shows a 2% increase in production with annual cleaning, but that's nationwide. So that's taking into account Arizona and Utah and Nevada and New Mexico, really dusty places where you need a lot more cleaning. Here we have a natural cleaning system. My mom's house is, right in the South Capitol neighborhood with, property down to the lake. So she has giant I could only fit 6 panels on her roof because she has so much shade. And, they get just covered with fir needles and little cedar cones and stuff, and it doesn't affect production. It hasn't gone down year over year. Every year I get up there and I blow off her roof and clean out her gutters and blow off the panels. It's just, and every year it's actually her panels have produced more every year, which is a good benefit of climate change. Is that her solar is putting out more power every year, even though they're supposed to go down 0.5% a year. They're literally putting out more. There's more sun, and that's even with the forest fires. So last year, our systems, all of our hundreds of installs, overproduced from our quotes on average 12%. So we're conservative in our estimates of production of what your panels will produce, because that might mean that 10% might mean $50 to $100 a year of more production to you, which you'll be happy about. You won't call me and rave about it. But if it made $50 or $100 less than what I told you, you would call me. It would be fine. So we'd prefer to underpromise and overdeliver.
Okay, thank you.
Great. I see a question from JJ in the chat. Can you talk about what's happened in recent months or years with PSE's payback? Has it decreased, changed, or does it look like there'll be changes that will affect savings?
Yeah, I mean, net metering, like you addressed, Ari, with the, they don't pay you anything. There isn't a cost recovery program, so it's just kilowatt for kilowatt. It's like rollover minutes, if that a lot of people can remember back then when we used to have rollover minutes on our cell phones. That's what PSE does. That's what they're mandated to do, like all the utilities through the Net Solar Fairness Act. So, and I don't. Once you're locked in with the interconnection agreement and net metering, they can't change it on you, but they could in the future stop offering net metering. It's happened in other states. People like Mason do a good job of making sure that doesn't happen.
Let me address the details of net metering here in Washington. So it is a 1-for-1 energy trade. So if your solar puts a kilowatt hour of energy back in the grid, you get a 1 kilowatt hour credit for that. That's great. It's solid. Credits will roll over month to month. So maybe in a hot summer month when you produce a lot of energy, you'll produce a lot more than you consume. And at the end of the month, you'll see a credit on your utility bill. And in future months, when you consume more than you produce, you can use that bank of credits to lower your power bill. I like to think of high production summer months and then low production winter months with a higher consumption, especially if you use electric heating, that sort of thing. And so you build up credits in the summer and can use them in the winter. Unfortunately, at the end of the year, the utility resets that account. I believe it's in April.
April 1st. Yep.
Yeah,
Just
so
happened.
they'll wipe your credit slate clean and start over. They don't pay you for it. And, you know, that's something we could improve in the solar law is, hey, let's make those credits last eternally. But anyhow.
Or if they give them to low-income people, we had fought for that a couple years ago to try to give them, like, take that credit and then give it to low-income folks. They said, no, thanks, we'll just keep them.
Well, hopefully as the solar lobby gets stronger, we'll be able to get more benefits like that. I've got another question here. Would you recommend energy sensors or energy monitors like Sense? And could Sense be included as part of an installation?
Yeah, Leela, is it Leela or Layla? Leela, I think. Yeah, I like your music.
Leela.
Leela, thanks, Leela. Yeah, we do install sense monitoring. What that is for everybody to know, these monitors that hook up to your feeder wires in your electrical service panel, and they read everything that you are consuming, like on site, like everything that you're using, and also it's a revenue grade production monitoring, so you can see what you're producing and what you're using all the time. We include 5 years of SolarEdge monitoring for free with every system. It's a cell card that we pay for that's in the inverter. You can use a Cat5 cable and hook up to your router and get it free. We just find that offering the cell card, we have fewer callbacks to unplug and replug in people's routers. We ended up being router specialists, so we do a cell card that gives you the monitoring. Like I can look on my phone at SolarEdge monitoring. I'm pulling it up. It takes a second. I'll pull up my array, and every 15 minutes, SolarEdge, it sends data up to the mothership, and so here's my system. Let's see, it's showing what it's producing on a day, a month, a year. Yeah, I go to this screen here. It's thinking, and it's going to show my array in a second here. Oh boy, it takes a second. Right there it is. And so those are all the panels on my garage, and you can zoom in and see right now. They're producing 233, 235 watts. So every 15 minutes there's a data pack that goes, and I can see what panels produced, and I can see what they produced a day, a month, year to date, lifetime, all the data that you'd like. If you want more than that, if you want sense monitoring, I think they're about 250 or 350 bucks to buy a sense monitoring, and we can install them. Or there's also SolarEdge has a revenue grade monitoring that we can install as well. So I think it's around $250 to $350 for that.
Thanks, Rich. I have two gas / kind of consumption related questions. And so is there less benefit if your heating is gas, and is it super expensive to change that? And kind of related is, do net metering credits roll into helping with the gas bill, or are they limited only to electric?
Yes. Well, the first, it depends on how old your furnace is, whether you'd want to switch from gas to electric. I would say that as a state, we're moving to all electric. We're getting rid of natural gas, and so it is going to be more expensive to be on natural gas, I believe, by 2030. But we can help you do those calculations. We can look at the we don't do furnace installations, but we can recommend folks to give you a quote for that. So and no, the kilowatt hours do not affect the BTUs. So it's not a dollar credit that you're getting with the utility, it's a kilowatt hour credit. So kilowatt hours and BTUs, although we could figure out how they don't, your gas and your electric bill are separate bills on your same bill. So we just look at, and that's why we have to see your power bill to size the system for you, because we look on the front of your PSE bill, there's a graph with green bars, and it shows either average monthly or average daily kilowatt hours. And some people get billed bi-monthly, and some people get billed monthly. PSE makes it really hard to tell, and we're pretty good at reading those. But we look at your last 12 months usage, and we size your system. We usually want to be about 95%. We don't necessarily want to have 100% offset, because we find that when people go solar, the first thing they do is they start being more aware of kilowatt hours, more aware of, they start turning off lights and maybe turning the temperature down 1 degree and seeing and kind of playing a game, and they might, start conserving some more energy. And the other thing is you're putting these panels usually, about 3 to 4 inches off of your roof, and there's an air gap there, and the panels act as a heat sink, and so they help cool attic spaces by about 15 degrees in summer, which means your heat pump or your mini split or your AC is working less hard and consuming less energy. So there's like a passive little drop in energy usage by that too. So unfortunately, no, we can't affect the gas bill, and we can't affect the basic charge, the grid tie charge. It's just the electricity.
Follow-up question for you, Rich. If someone's planning on, say, replacing their gas furnace, or say buying an electric vehicle and their consumption is going to be higher in the future, can you plan for that and make the solar array big enough for that future change?
Absolutely. We speak roof, we speak electricity, so we speak EV, we do EV chargers. And so it will, we can recommend a size system based on your average driving. It's kind of like people go, well, how much, solar do I need for an electric vehicle? And I go, well, how much gas do you need for a year? And so it's based on your commute time. It's based on averages. So the average commuter is a 30-minute commute. The average electric vehicle needs about a 2.5 kilowatt array to take care of their energy needs. But we can go up or down from there based on your usage.
Well, so we're almost out of time here, so I want to wrap things up. Yeah, Lisa, if you want to learn more about gas to electric, I think Rich said he could recommend some folks who could quote that for you. So yeah, let's wrap up. Our contact information is right here. Remember, our team at Olympia Community Solar are your resource and your advocates in this campaign. And then solar questions, go to Rich. Financial questions, go to Stephanie. And yeah, thank you so much for coming and being part of this. We're gonna publish the recording in case you want to follow up and review the slides or anything. So keep an eye out for that on our social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Olympia Solar.
One more thing important to mention. If solar is not right for your home, we'll soon be opening up a new community solar project. Or if you want to participate in both and just be a solar champion in this area, definitely stay tuned. We'll be announcing more about that as well. So lots of moving parts, and please share like all of this information that you've learned today. We're happy to provide you with printed materials so that you can share that with your friends and family. We really want to grow this campaign and really scale it up and get people so excited about this offer. So please share.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Janet.
thank you all.
Very helpful.
Thanks so much.
Awesome. Enjoy this beautiful Saturday out in the sun.
Hey, when is the next webinar, so we can tell them to tell their friends? When's the next one, Ari? Is it?
It's April 14th. It's a Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. We wanted to offer a variety of times for folks to be able to join, and sometimes weeknights are the best time. So Wednesday, April 14th at 6 p.m. And then we're having another Saturday, May 15th at 11 a.m. same time. So, and maybe we'll do an evening one if these are really popular on Saturday, May 15th.
Great.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Have
Thanks,
a great
everybody.
day, everybody.
Thank you.
Nice seeing your face, Stephanie.
Yes, you too, Rich.
We'll talk soon.
Nice
Yeah,
to meet
you.
you.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.